this video, I'm going to show you how to put a flywheel, a clutch, and a pallet bearing in your B18 C1. So if you look over here, you can see it says B18 C1 right there. We got the engine out of the Integra, so we can start doing some work to it. We got the adjustable cams, it's bored over, 82 millimeter pistons, port and polished head, type R cams, and balance crank, king race bearings. So, and we got a stage 2 clutch for it right here, and the clutch pad or the clutch disc, and the new flywheel. So we're going to show you how to put this in. So right here you have your this is where your pallet bearing goes on the back side of your flywheel. So if you flip this over right here, you can see that it sits just like that, and you got to put your post on the outside like that, so it sits right there. So right there, your transmission shaft, when it goes in there and it goes inside here, it sits right in that bearing, so you don't get the bearing walked and all that kind of stuff. So make sure that when you do this, make sure that you replace that pallet bearing. So right here is the remain seal right there, so we replace this right there, and so this is going to go on there, and then we're going to clean it with some brake clean, get that all cleaned up, so when this goes on there, it will get a nice clean pressure on there. So we're going to get ready and put this up here, and then I'll show you how to do it. I got some Loctite right there. Do not forget to put Loctite on your bolts, on your flywheel bolts, and it's also a good idea to put a little bit on your clutch bolts too. So all right, so we're going to get ready and bolt this up. When I get one in, then I'll be back and I'll show you how to torque it down and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, so I got it started. I got the flywheel in here. There's your pallet bearing. So make sure this goes in the back side of your flywheel when you replace your flywheel or take it off and do a clutch. It's also a good idea just to pull the flywheel off if you can and replace this bearing. It's only a couple bucks at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Advanced Auto Parts. So it's always a good idea just to take this off of here, replace this little piece right here. So what I used is a 22 millimeter. Use a 22 millimeter, and it covers the hole. See, it fits right in there. So on the back side of it, it fits right in there. It doesn't hit the race for the bearing. It hits the metal part, and you set that on there, and then you use a metal or a mallet, rubber mallet, and just lightly tap it in until it gets straight in there, and then get it flush like that. Okay, so right here we have some thread locker right here. So you're just gonna put just a little bit. That's actually too much. You probably share that with another bolt. That's a little too much. But you just need just like that. You just need just a little bit. That's probably too much, but and then just start your bolts. Start your bolts in your flywheel. Make sure that they turn. As soon as you get 2 in here pretty much started, we'll get this back in here. So I'll be right back when I get the other one in and it'll hold in, and then we'll finish. Okay. All right, I'm back. So I got one in here, and then I got one in here. So it's actually holding it up for you. So next bolt, just same thing, just a little tiny bit right here. Just put a little bit like this. And then just start threading up your bolts. So they all should go pretty much easy by hand tight all the way down, just like that. So I'm going to finish this and do all these ones, and then I'll be back when I'm done, and we'll torque it down and get the flywheel or the clutch on there. All right, so we got the flywheel installed, the pallet bearing right here. So again, do not forget to put that in the back side of your flywheel. So when you're doing a clutch, it's a good thing to take this off and do that. All right, so I'm gonna get some brake clean. I'm gonna clean this up. You can see that there's some grease and stuff on here right here. So I'm gonna spray this off, and then we'll install the clutch disc and or the clutch pressure plate and the disc. So we'll do that next. We'll also use some thread locker. I know I got some on the garage. You can tell I'm in the military. So right there, those are all your your bolts for your clutch. So we'll do that next. We'll get that all set up there. All right, so I got those torqued down and I got the flywheel all clean right there. So I wiped it, so it's good to go. Next, we're gonna put the pressure plate in the clutch, and don't forget to use your alignment tool. All right, so here's your clutch alignment tool right here. It's got the splines on it. It goes into this right here. So when you put this through here, you got to set it just like this, and then that sets into your, get that out of there, sets in just like this, and basically it gives you a, so you can turn it and line it up. So you gotta line it up with the pegs right there, but see that there's no bolt here, so this thing needs to turn like this. So you got to make sure that it goes just like this. Make sure your clutch alignment tool stays in place, and make sure it sits just like this. So you can see that there's a peg and then there's a bolt hole. Same on this side, a peg and a bolt hole right there. So then you get these, put some thread locker on them just a little bit. So we use the stuff off the garage, it don't matter. So just like this, and then you just start threading it in there. So this is a 10mm 12-point socket. Do not use a 6-point socket on here. It will eat up your threads and it won't tighten down right. So we'll continue to do this. Let's put a little bit of thread locker on there. So we'll get this one, and we'll get this one in here just so we can have, just so to hold it. See right here, this is the 10mm. I can get it off of here. This is your 10mm 12-point socket. So make sure it looks like that when you do it. And also taking it off too. So it's always a good idea. Just like this. So we'll continue. Just put these on here, just a little bit of thread locker, just like that. And then you just bolt it in like this. Just make sure you can always use your socket. It's a lot easier to do that. Your alignment tool's still in there, see? And it slides out, so make sure it slides in and out like this, so you know that it's in right and it's not crooked or anything like that. So just like this. We'll finish up this, and then we'll tighten these ones down, and then we'll bolt the transmission back on here again. We need a whole lot here. Do this one here, and I think there's one. Yeah, there's one left. There's one left. Okay. And this one right here. Just a little bit, just like that. So where's the other bolt? Right here. So make sure it starts threading it in by hand, and then make sure you do this first. Make sure you get it all the way down. You don't want to hit an impact or anything on it till it does that. Okay, so it goes in by hand. And then you always want to do these by a star pattern. Tighten that one. Then you want to tighten this one down. Then you want to go over to this side. Like this. Then we'll go to this one. Then we go to this one down here. Like that. And then we'll do the last one. And then just double check. Double check, go around, double check. Make sure that they're all tight. Like this. Make sure you go around. Just like this. Okay. Just like that. And then you're ready to get your torque wrench and torque it down and pull it out. So you can see right here, you know, we used some brake clean to clean the inside of this because it was dirty from factory and it had that protective coating on there. So got a little bit of paint off of there, but this is our second stage clutch. So we'll put a link in the description below on this, and then later we'll do a review on it. This is the first time we ran a second stage clutch. So that's pretty much it. You got your pallet bearing, so you can see right through there. And then this is your transmission shaft. which right here, and then this right here sits right in that pallet bearing like this. You got your dowel on this side, and also on this side is your other dowel for your transmission on this side. So that's how to do a clutch, flywheel, and pallet bearing on a B18C1. So that's a little how-to video on how to put a pallet bearing, flywheel, clutch, pressure plate, all that kind of stuff, how to put them in there, how to put Loctite on them, and all that kind of stuff. So if you like this video, you can give us a thumbs up. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JC Motor Garage. And thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and check out our other videos, our playlist on the Integra GSR that we're putting this engine in. If you want to check that out, go back to our playlist. You can check out our videos from when we first got it and what it looks like now. And don't forget that first start's coming up soon and you don't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on JC Motor Garage.